Imagine you're driving alone at night along a winding mountain road. Dense forests press in on both sides. The curves are sharp and blind. Outside your window, tree shadows dance in your headlights, as if something is moving just beyond your vision. Suddenly, you see a woman in red standing by the roadside, waving at you. You blink. She's gone. This isn't a movie scene. This actually happened on a road in Hong Kong. The road is called Bride's Pool Road, and the locals have long considered it one of the most haunted places in Hong Kong, though no paranormal activity has ever been scientifically verified. Since 1982, over a span of 35 years, according to media reports, multiple mysterious incidents have occurred here. Murders, unexplained events, car crashes, fatal falls. In July 2023, 9 vehicles collided in a chain reaction crash. Locals believe a drowned bride still haunts this place, unable to move on. But can science explain everything? Today, we're investigating this cursed road to uncover the truth behind its dark reputation. Bride's Pool is located deep within Hong Kong's countryside, about an hour's drive from the city center, in the Plover Cove Country Park area. This remote valley is surrounded by mountains and covered in ancient trees. Even during daytime, sunlight barely penetrates the thick canopy to reach the ground. Moss-covered rocks line the pool's edge, and the air is perpetually thick with moisture and the smell of damp earth. When you approach the waterfall, you hear the constant echo of rushing water. A 15-meter cascade plunges from the cliff into the deep pool below. The water's surface is eerily still, like a black mirror. This place was originally called Seven Sisters Pool, but after a tragedy, it was renamed, and the new name stuck. According to historical records, there are hundreds of different versions of the Bride's Pool legend, but they all share the same core. A bride lost her life here. The most widely known version involves a wedding procession gone wrong. The story goes that long ago, a bride was being transported in a traditional Chinese wedding sedan chair. An ornate, enclosed seat carried on poles by 4 men. She was traveling from one village to another through these mountains to meet her new husband, as was the custom. When the procession reached this pool, a torrential rainstorm suddenly struck. The mountain path became muddy and treacherous. The stream swelled rapidly. As they attempted to cross the water, one of the bearers slipped on the wet rocks. The sedan chair tipped, and the bride fell into the pool. Some versions claim the bearers panicked after seeing blood on the rocks. Others suggest the bride didn't want to marry and deliberately caused the accident. But regardless of the details, the bride drowned. And from that day forward, the pool bore her name, Bride's Pool. Not far upstream lies an even larger waterfall, 35 meters high, called Mirror Pool. Legend says the doomed bride once gazed at her reflection in its clear waters. When you look down from above, the pool's surface truly resembles a perfect mirror. According to local folklore, paranormal activity has been reported at Bride's Pool for generations. Some claim to have seen the drowned bride's feet beneath the water's surface. This is where the strange stories begin. Numerous eerie incidents have been reported online over the years. One hiker reported, "I was walking along Bride's Pool when I saw a red embroidered shoe silently float to the surface. I moved closer to get a better look, but in the blink of an eye, it sank back down into the dark water." A local villager said, "Late at night, we often hear the sounds of traditional wedding music, flutes and drums, as if a celebration is taking place. But when we go outside, there's no one there. Nothing." Then there's this account. "I was passing another section of the pool when I saw a woman dressed in red, sitting alone by the water's edge, using the pool as a mirror to fix her hair and makeup. I thought she was just a tourist and was about to warn her to be careful. But when I looked at the water's surface, there was no reflection. The pool showed only the trees and the sky. When I looked back up, she had vanished." And from a taxi driver, "I was driving along Bride's Pool Road late at night when I saw a figure in the distance, wearing a bright red wedding dress. She was far away, but somehow I could clearly see her facial features, as if her face was pressed right against my car window. I hit the gas and sped past. When I checked my rearview mirror, there was nothing." These stories might sound absurd, but the real data that follows is deeply unsettling. Bride's Pool Road is a 7-kilometer stretch of mountain highway. Since 1982, it has been the site of a disturbing pattern of tragic incidents. 1992, a murder and body disposal case. 1998, a triple homicide. 2001 to 2015, 8 fatal car accidents. 2011 and 2017, 2 people lost their lives in falls. 2014 and 2016, 2 tragic incidents. Over 35 years, according to media reports, multiple lives were lost here. Car accidents are the most common cause. Between 2009 and 2013 alone, 7 serious crashes occurred, resulting in 4 deaths and 1 person critically injured. 6 of these crashes happened at the exact same location, an S-curve at Yongmei. Between 2019 and 2021, just 2 years, 6 crashes claimed 7 lives. The most serious incident occurred on October 31st, 2021, Halloween night. Around 10 p.m., 2 cars, a Toyota and a Honda, were traveling along Bride's Pool Road toward Luke King as they approached a left curve near Fenghang. The Toyota suddenly crossed the double white lines and collided head-on with a Lamborghini sports car coming from the opposite direction. The collision was severe. The vehicles sustained significant damage. The Lamborghini's structure was compromised. The Toyota flipped completely over. The Honda's front end was crushed. Even a motorcycle falling behind crashed while trying to avoid the wreckage. The 41-year-old Lamborghini driver was killed in the collision. The 20-year-old Toyota driver succumbed to his injuries at the hospital. 5 others were injured, including a 24-year-old woman in critical condition. Afterward, the surviving 23-year-old Honda driver was convicted of dangerous driving and sentenced to 58 months in prison and a 7-year driving ban. In December 2020, 2 more people lost their lives within just 2 days. A British cyclist lost control when his chain broke, suffering critical injuries. A 20-year-old driver crashed into a lamppost and careened into brush, later passing away from his injuries. The most recent major incident occurred on July 23, 2023. The car drifted into the wrong lane, triggering a 9-vehicle chain reaction crash. 6 people were injured. Why do so many accidents happen here? Is it ghosts? Or is it the road itself? When we dig deeper, we discover that the road's design itself is a serious hazard. Bright's Pool Road was built in the 1950s as part of the Plover Cove Reservoir construction project. The engineering standards of that era are completely outdated by today's safety requirements. Professional racing driver Li Yupui explained in a media interview, "The biggest problem with this road is the combination of numerous sharp curves and blind corners. Drivers can't see oncoming traffic, making head-on collisions extremely easy." He continued, "The roads leading up to Breeze's Pool road had speed limits of 70 to 100 kilometers per hour. But Bright's Pool Road itself has a 50 kilometer per hour limit. Many drivers don't realize they need to slow down dramatically, so they enter curves at dangerous speeds, lose control, and crash. The most dangerous factor is a phenomenon called understeer. When the car enters a curve too fast, it can't make the turn properly. The vehicle either shoots straight ahead or gets thrown off the road entirely. Bright's Pool Road has 232 street lights, but the lampposts are densely packed. One driver described it this way: "Hit one of those poles and the consequences are severe." You might wonder, do that many people really speed on this road? According to police data provided to the media, between 2018 and 2020, there were 15,638 speeding violations on Bright's Pool Road. The worst year was 2019, with 9,692 tickets issued. An average of 26 cars caught speeding every single day. The numbers dropped dramatically in 2020, but not because drivers became more careful. The speed camera had been deliberately vandalized. This road has essentially become a battleground for illegal street racing. Beyond road design, psychology offers another explanation. Fatigue can cause visual distortions. when drivers operate vehicles late at night for extended periods, especially on poorly lit mountain roads with shifting shadows. Their exhausted brains can experience unusual perceptions. This phenomenon is called pareidolia, the human tendency to perceive faces or human figures in ambiguous images. Tree shadows, fog, even reflective road signs can all be misinterpreted by the brain as someone standing there. This momentary distraction can trigger an accident. Interestingly, there's a road in New Jersey, USA, called the Clinton Road that shares striking similarities with Bride's Pool Road. It's also a remote mountain road with sharp curves, dangerous night driving conditions, and countless paranormal legends. Local police have publicly stated this road is long and desolate. It makes people's imaginations run wild. Psychologists suggest once a location becomes associated with tragedy, humans naturally connect subsequent misfortunes to that original event, creating the concept of a curse. But can science really explain everything? When you stand at the edge of Bride's Pool, gazing at its calm surface as mist slowly rises from the water and leaves rustle in the darkness, you might wonder, long ago, did a bride really lose her life here? Does her restless spirit still linger, waiting for someone to hear her story? Or is everything simply the result of poor road design, human error, and collective psychology? The truth may never be known, but one thing is certain. Bride's Pool Road is a dangerous place. If you ever need to drive this road, remember, slow down, stay alert, and never drive alone at night. Because whether it's ghosts or the road itself, losing your life is a tragedy that can never be undone. If you're interested in urban legends and mysteries from around the world, subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment and tell us, do you believe in ghosts or the road? Until next time.